Hey, what's up YouTube? Mark from Young Gun Metal Casting. Just wanted to give you a preview of the new furnace that I'm going to be building. Back there in the corner, that's the gasser, the first one that I used, just an old gas can. Upgraded size to this one, little 6-gallon, I think, metal bucket. This one I used homemade refractory. I followed a mix that's available on the web. I'll post a link to it in the comments. Unfortunately, as you can see, this is after about 8 melts. I'm running a propane burner. The lid is cracking and some cracking and shrinkage along the sides here. With the lid, what I did was I drilled some holes. I ran some bolts through it with some nuts on the back side. This is a similar technique to what they use in the foundry that I work at. The lids for the ladles have large bolts. What that does, it gives a better surface area and some grip for the refractory to grab onto. I did not reinforce the inside of the lid with wire. I know a lot of people like to do that. What I did instead was add some steel wires. I'll show you those here. These steel wires, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but some refractory mixes use these steel wires right in the mix. What this does is it helps to bond the refractory together. I think I explained that in a previous video. But my buddy down at a refractory shop about 2 hours south of where I am hooked me up with some of this stuff. So I've got a box with what was supposed to be 2 pounds. I think it's more like 10 pounds of these steel wires. And I've got two 55-pound bags of ladle cast from Chicago Fire Brick. Now, I've never used the ladle cast before, but I have used another Chicago Fire Brick product. I use that in this other furnace. And that stuff, both with charcoal and propane, held up very well. I want to say I've got about 10 or 20 melts on this stuff. And not a single crack to be seen on the inside. Don't mind that stuff on the back. That's a defect. When I first made it, I had to kind of chip it out with a chisel. But if you look in here, you can see some of the steel wires that were in this stuff. This refractory that I use is called high al castite or high alumina castite. Unfortunately, this stuff is about $75 a bag, so I'm not going to be using that. Now, the inside of the lid here, actually a whole bunch of it just fell out. That sucks. I used some of this black furnace cement you can pick up at any hardware store because I actually ran out of the high al castite. I didn't have enough to finish this. So, as you can see, this stuff does not hold up very well. Also, I may have cured it wrong, but I put it on there kind of thick, but as it cured, it comes out real porous, real brittle. I can break it just like that. So anyways, just a quick size comparison. This is what I'm running right now. This is what I'm going to be running. This one right here, this smaller one with the homemade refractory, I've had melts up to 15 pounds. I'll show you the crucible that I'm using here. It's a piece of 6-inch pipe that I found at a local scrapyard with 1/8-inch cap welded on the bottom. Young Gun Metal Casting welded right in the side, and little size indicator so I don't forget. 15 pounds. So I just welded a part of an eye bolt on the bottom there, 2 hooks on the top to pick it up. I can't find my tools right now for picking up the crucible, but I'm sure you'll see those in another video. And then just some aluminum that I picked up at the scrapyard too. It's $1 a pound to buy scrap, so I'm not complaining. I don't have any friends really that want to donate scrap to me. But that's got to get melted down. That's about 25 pounds, and I've got about 25 pounds of muffins and ingots in here. So when I built this furnace, I didn't document it very well. Took absolutely 0 pictures. Actually, I believe this is the first time this furnace has been on camera. But as I'm building this one, I will definitely be taking pictures, show you guys some tricks that I use, both to insulate the furnace, help the refractory stay inside, and I'm hoping, got my little Hobart welder there, I'm hoping that I can use a 5-gallon bucket for the inside form without any trouble. A 5-gallon bucket leaves a good 1.5 inches all the way around, maybe 2 inches. I've also had problems estimating gaps in the past, so I hope I don't fill the gap with too much refractory and then not have enough left over for the lid. But we'll see what happens as I'm building it here. I'm hoping 110 pounds should be enough. I know either way, this is going to be a pretty heavy furnace when I'm done with it, so I'm probably going to have to build a frame with some wheels. But just wanted to give you guys a heads up. I'll post some videos of me building this thing, and then of course letting it cure and baking out, and then I'll show you guys this furnace running. I'm also going to be upgrading my burner. The one I have right now, I keep having problems with the flame going out, sputtering, and going back inside the burner tube. So time for a new one. This one's not very well designed, but feel free to check out the website, www.younggunmetalcasting.com, and stay tuned for future videos.